Dogecoin in itself is being relatively stable. That's why they had to maintain that wall around the 200-day moving average to kind of keep the price under control, so that on the initial drop down around 8 cents, we didn't have a rally upward from all the buying pressure. All right, welcome back, YouTube. In today's video, we're going to talk about this big Uno reverse that JPMorgan has done on their entire stance on crypto in general. And also, we're going to talk about the price action of what we're seeing today with Dogecoin, what we're seeing across the market here, because there are a lot of games that are being played, and I just wanted to kind of relay that to the community. Now, when it comes to JPMorgan, outside of being a financial titan, this is very, very interesting. And I know the cause behind it because they do this with different asset classes, but it's just funny to see how quickly this has kind of moved over to the crypto market. As of right now, JPMorgan is saying that Bitcoin is undervalued by 28%, and cryptocurrencies are now a preferred alternative asset for JPMorgan. And they are saying that, hey, look, crypto has a bright future. We're going to the moon. They're obviously going to be investing now, and they think that, all will be well on the next cycle. Very, very interesting, because I pay attention to a lot of who says what in crypto. And I remember specifically over the last couple of years, actually, JPMorgan has literally the company, the CEO and all that has been bashing cryptocurrency, even going as far as to say Bitcoin is absolutely worthless, that the whole thing was basically like a scam. And, you shouldn't be investing your money into it. This thing's going to go away. And now they're going to pretty much change everything up. And I'm actually going to pull up the quote here because I think it's very important. This was just from roughly a year ago. So this is the quote by the CEO. I found the exact article, but I'm just going to read it off of Google. So it pretty much says that Jamie said basically that Bitcoin is worthless. He said he personally thinks that Bitcoin is worthless. He said during a conference at the Institute of International Finance. But I don't want to be a spokesperson. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. Pretty much saying that he doesn't even care to talk about it. Bitcoin is just something that's not even on his radar. He personally thinks that it's absolutely worthless. And this was, let's look at the date, October 12th, 2021. So we're talking not even a full year later. This is a completely different stance. You see how they talk when the market is booming, and then when things come down, they're like, "Oh no, we didn't mean that. We actually think it's going to be always going to be well." And this typically happens when they try and help an asset get down. So when we talk about shorting a lot on this channel, and shorting is one effective way to get the price of an asset down that you want to, A, disappear, or B, you want to make an entry into. The media do not ever count out the media. There's a reason why these funds and these brokerages and stuff like that own all these pieces of information, that like these tabloids and these little investment calendars and stuff like that they send out to relate information to you and to build up a following, so that you can pretty much be on whatever side of the asset that they want you on. So if they say something is to the moon, they want you to buy into it. If they say something is worthless, they want you to get out of it. This is a perfect example of these titan companies using the media to manipulate and get people to move a certain way, and then they change their mind. So what do you think JPMorgan has done since they said that, oh, it's worthless, and that the price of the asset has come down greatly, cryptocurrencies? Because they didn't exclusively say Bitcoin. They said they believe Bitcoin is undervalued by 28%. But they said cryptocurrencies is now an alternative asset. So you can imagine that their investment portfolio is not going to be limited to Bitcoin. But what do you think they've done since they said that? They've invested. They've got the asset down by bashing it in the media, helping it bash it, probably helping short it as well. They bash it down, then make an entry, then come out to the public and say, hey, whoa, we think this thing is a great thing. You guys should buy in. Now, of course, they're already starting to average in. They're probably going to average in a lot lower than you are, but they're telling you, okay, hey, look, we think this is great. We changed our stance. This is a prime example of manipulation that goes on in the market, in addition to shorting. Now, looking at the price action of Dogecoin, we've seen Dogecoin shorts trend sideways for 14 days consecutively. 2 weeks, they trended sideways at the 200-day moving average, and now they had backed out earlier of around 26, 27%. It's up to 23 now. So they're pretty much recovering or taking a position back in. But this is a prime example of what I mean by trying to get the price of the coin down. So what they do is they try and keep the momentum and the spikes at a halt just by controlling where Dogecoin goes in the meantime, by having that literally that wall of steel and around the 200-day moving average. Notice that they didn't come out of the position all the way. So this is technically what you would call swapping. So what happens is when you're in a short period position for a period of time and you have a general breakdown in the market, which typically that's the best time to short, what you're going to do is put up a wall of resistance while the market is breaking down. And then if you're effective enough, you can kind of put it on autopilot, because now you've generated enough fear that there's going to be further consolidation. So you use that window of opportunity to close out some of that position so that you can come in at a lower rate and kind of renew those shorts. It's not going to necessarily be a renew. You're technically closing a position and opening a new one, but you're able to kind of jump out of the position here that you may have started at a higher level. So let's say you started shorting at 10 cents and you're able to get it down to 7. And technically you're able to close out that position because now there's fear in the market and no one's actually buying, or you've significantly cut the buys. So now you're able to close out that position from 10 to 7, take profits, and come back in at 7 and hopefully repeat the same thing to get it down even lower. Technically, that's what you do when you're swapping out orders. This is an example of what I believe is happening right now. I do not believe that they're going to close out this position and just simply, I mean, nothing short at 0%, but I do not believe that they're going to close out these positions here and not continue to short Dogecoin. I believe that on the next round of shorts, we're going to see something above the 200-day moving average. I do believe that they still need more money. I do believe, because we've seen Bitcoin drop down to around 28,000 today. I do believe that we have more room on the downside of Bitcoin, and they're going to have to be more aggressive with Dogecoin to get the price action down. Because even now, if we look at the price action of Dogecoin, when we see shorts come out of the position or shorts in the position, Dogecoin is relatively stable. We are not having these big drop downs or these big rallies up unless shorts are coming into the position or coming out of the position. Dogecoin in itself is being relatively stable. That's why they had to maintain that wall around the 200-day moving average to kind of keep the price under control, so that on the initial drop down around 8 cents, we didn't have a rally upward from all the buying pressure. And I showed you guys that on the pools of liquidity. This is literally another stance of market manipulation. You have shorts that are strategically playing with coins to try and get the price of the asset down. You have a lot of the titans in the arena pretty much just doing an about face and changing their mind about crypto, quote unquote, and literally saying that, okay, well, they believe that's going to have a long-term position and that they're pretty much adding it to their portfolio. These are all the signs that you need if you ever have the question of whether or not you should hold or how cycles work and stuff like that, because everyone's trying to get the best price. These titans are trying to get the best price. The shorts, all in all, want it to either go down as low as possible or they want it to disappear altogether. But when you see these things here that line up, that you see the about face from the JPMorgan and you see how the shorts are playing, these are not coincidences. These are people that are literally trying to get the asset as low as possible to open up that spread. This is just one of the things that you have to keep in mind of, that when you're building out your portfolio, most of your great entries are going to be made during a bear market or during times like this. Your best entries are not going to be made on a bull run. It's easier to invest in a bull run and it's less scary to invest in a bull run, but your greatest entries are going to be made at points right now. But it is in my opinion that I do believe they're going to gear up to take the shorts above the 200-day moving average, something to like what we've seen here back at the beginning of February when we had these huge spikes up, that they were trying to control price action when we had these announcements and stuff like that coming out. And I just want to take a look here at the pools of liquidity. You can see that the buy orders for Dogecoin and the support for Dogecoin is there just like it's always been there. So this is one of the reasons, even when you see them trying to do a swap out or these partial covers where they pretty much come out and renew their contracts, this is why they cannot let off the gas as quickly as they go on, because of these buy orders. You see that the pretty much down here in these red areas, you'll see that the orders are being executed and they're being filled. You have these big press downs. This is a big sell order here. Push Dogecoin down into this pool of liquidity, which is this red area. Then boom, we got 1, 2, 3 consecutive fills, a small sell order, back down, then a couple more orders filled again. So we see that the support there is actually doing what it's supposed to, which is actually filling the orders and pushing Dogecoin up so that you can have that stability that Dogecoin is known for outside of the manipulation that try and pushes the price around. And I made this video specifically to tell you that as the market drags on, if the market consolidates even further, if we stay in this for a long period of time and go on into a deep recession, you're going to see more tactics like this to move assets around and to get them into even more comfortable positions. You have to understand, these institutions, these whales, they want to make money both ways. When the market's going up, they want to make money, and when the market's coming down, they want to make money and have great entries so that they can repeat the process over again. So you're going to see information come out there like this, where you see a lot of these big industries, these whales, these people that were shorting certain assets where they changed their mind and now they're bullish and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of this because they want you to help push these coins down so that they can make great entries. That's the name of the game. The better your entry, the more options you have. That's the name of the game. You want the best assets at the cheapest prices. You want all the assets that you think are undervalued or that are going to literally take off on the next run. You want them dirt cheap. And they're going to do anything and say anything to make sure that that happens for them. This is going to determine their performance. Remember, the benefit of being a retailer is that you can hold a lot longer than they can. They have to turn these profits. They have to push these agendas out, because if not, they're going to lose their investors, because if you're just averaging 10%, then anyone can get that just by investing for themselves. So they have to find a way to get these incredible gains and put up these astronomical numbers so they can keep their portfolios together. I hope you found this video useful. You can support the channel for absolutely free by liking this video or becoming a subscriber if you found anything I had to say with value. And before I close this video, I will say it again, and I'll say it until I see significant change. We must remove our coins from the exchanges, otherwise they are going to use them against us to help them create these great entries. I do recommend the Ledger Nano. I have a link in the description, which will take you directly through their site, so that you're not getting any third party or any defective devices with malware already on them. So you're getting it directly from the company. And if you're looking for alternatives to earn crypto, even on your fiat, you can do that with BlockFi. I have a link for them as well in the description. I do wish you all well, and I just pay attention and make sure that you're doing your own due diligence, because they're going to do and say anything to move these numbers on the board. So just keep that in mind the next time you're hearing information. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And until next time.